Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you have a very magical week. We're doing some cleansing and clearing here. If you missed this last week's wish paper, catch the replay of that. Very powerful experience. Also on my YouTube channel, Flying Wish Paper. So watch the replay. We've included everybody who watches later. So welcome everyone, welcome, welcome. Cleansing and clearing our space before we start our discussion today. How is everyone doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well. Hello, 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 welcome. Thanks for joining. I'll set my sage right here and just let it do its beautiful thing. I love it, love it, love it, love sage. Hi Maura and Dawn, welcome. Thanks for joining today. How are you doing? Today we're talking about time and space, and I just have a lot of questions. This is an open discussion. I have a lot of questions for you, and hey Charles, that's maybe you can listen in. That's all right. Maura, welcome. Maura, I sent that to you a couple times, but we can chat after the show, okay? Amy, hello, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Hardy Bell. Welcome. Thanks for joining, everyone. Today we're talking about time and space. I was talking to a friend last week about time, and I'm going to throw some questions out for you for discussion. And there's no right or wrong answers. Just feel free to comment how you feel about the topic, whatever the questions might be. Please share this with others to join our community and our discussion. And first question is, do you ever feel like time stops? It's the first question. Do you ever feel like time stops or slows down? Good morning. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Come on in. Just getting started. First question. Do you ever feel like time stops? Or do you ever feel like you're stuck in time? Either way. Could be either way. What are your thoughts on that first question? Do you feel like time stops or slows down? Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Angela and Kathy and everybody. Thanks for coming in. Amy, sometimes, yeah, sometimes. I do too, sometimes. I feel like time stops. Anybody else experience that? Hi, Sharon. Welcome. Hello, hello. Hi, Mary. Do you ever feel like time stops or slows down? With whatever it is you're experiencing. Emma, don't get into trouble. Yes, Dawn, you feel like when things are stressful, because you can't seem to move forward. I can understand that completely. Yeah. Yeah. And Sharon, yes, you've experienced it. Okay, the second question, do you ever feel like time flies, goes really fast? It's true, the older you get, it seems like the faster time goes. Do you ever experience that? Time flies, goes really fast. Do you ever experience that? Mary, you've experienced time slowing. I bet a lot of you have experienced time flying. Usually when you have fun, you're in a good time, you're having a good time, you don't want it to end. That's when time flies, or you just don't even realize you're engaged in something and you don't even realize you're in something creative, or you're in something exciting, or you don't want that moment to end. Yeah, when you're on a vacation, yeah, that's when time flies. In general, I feel like time flies anyway because I enjoy everything I do for the most part, and I feel like time just flies. A lot of time. Time just goes by so quickly. And yeah, way too fast, yeah. And I feel like time just Just goes so fast. So fast. All right, so next question. Do you ever feel like it slows and goes fast at the same time? Have you ever experienced that? It slows down, it's stopped, but yet it's gone fast at the same time. Have you experienced both at the same time? Yeah, when you look at your kids, yes. Well, that's true too, Sharon. Yeah, when you see the growth of our children, it's like, oh my gosh. I feel, looking back at periods of time in my life, that those are totally different lifetimes. I can't even wrap my head around it sometimes. But have you ever experienced a time where time has slowed yet gone fast at the same time? Think about it a minute. Most recently, in these past 3 months, I have experienced that. I came to the realization that time seems to have stopped because there's so much that has stopped right now. We're stopped in time, and we're in like a waiting period. But at the same time, I feel like time has gone by so fast. March and April are a blur. I don't even remember experiencing it. Yeah, you guys experience it too? It's a very interesting situation. Anybody else experiencing that, where time is stopped, and yet it's gone by so fast that, at the same time? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? Thank you, Mary. Please share and comment and join our group and join our page. It is one big fog. It is. It's one big fog. Now, why do you think that is? Is it possible, next question, is it possible that we are experiencing two existences or more at the same time? Have you ever felt like you are experiencing different lives, different experiences at the very same time? Is that possibly why one has felt like it stopped and one is speeding by so quickly? Have you ever felt like you are in multiple experiences, existences at the same time? I do. Mary, you experienced both. Yes, Amy. What are your thoughts on that? Please expand on it. Hi, Jamie. Welcome, everybody, for joining. Thanks for joining today. Kind of a little deep topic today. And no right or wrong answer, just, whatever your thoughts are on the subject. Yeah, right now. Right now seems to be a really big one. And I think, we hear a lot about the big awakening, the big shift happening with this whole situation that we're in. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of us understanding that we do have more than one existence at any given time. Right? Yeah, it does feel like Groundhog Day over and over and over, Jean. Absolutely. I know, time is going so fast, but it feels like it's stopped at the same time. Let's see here. The glare, I know, at this time of year, it's hard for me to see all these comments, the longer ones. Let's see if I can expand them. That expands me. Ha! How funny. There's a lot of movies that were made and a lot of books. I think that Carol H., I think that all the books that were written and all the movies that were created, and all those things have some meaning to them. So there's a lot of things that are happening at once that we can't even wrap our head around. A bigger picture, so to speak, a bigger picture of what's going on than we have full understanding of yet. It will be revealed as we can continue on. It will be revealed as we can accept and as we can download information. If we had all of it at once, it would probably be overwhelming. So I think it's given to us in pieces. Very interesting. Yeah, it is confusing at times, and definitely need to stay grounded. That's really good advice, Colleen. Definitely stay grounded, because that is really, really good advice. It is very confusing at times and overwhelming, and just so much happening at once. It's hard to wrap your head around it. Yeah. Mary, you feel like you've lived different lives because you've seen things in the present that's happened also in the future. Yeah. Yeah. But do you feel like it's possible that you're living multiple lives right now? Multiple existences, here and somewhere else. Do you think it's possible? Yay, Donna. I have heard theories about that, Carol H., that we're sent here as a punishment. I personally don't believe that. Specifically that we come here to be punished, I don't believe that personally. I believe that we have our own plan and we come here to learn. Yes, there's a lot of suffering, there's a lot of pain involved in many forms and fashions. But I've seen the soul space, to what I believe is the soul space, in meditation many times. And I've had this discussion in meditation many times. And what I believe is that we have been sent here. We decide to come here with an agenda. We don't know that agenda. We have to figure it out as we go. And experiencing things, we have choices to make all the time. What those choices make, how we make those choices, direct us in the way that we should go or we shouldn't go, depending on how we decide to react upon things and act upon things. And I feel that we have an agenda, we have a purpose, we have a specific thing that we must master and learn. And once we do that, we will not have to relearn that specific thing again. So it could be like a specific thing like being compassionate or being of service, or being a specific thing like being humble or giving, or, you know, and then we put ourselves in specific experiences to learn these things, whether we learn them or not, depending on how we choose. And a lot of that, too, of the learning part is you're conscious. How do you feel about things? You know, how do you feel about things? The ego can get in the way. How do you respond to things? So everybody has their own opinion, and I respect your opinion and your thoughts and your comments, too. I just share what I believe and what I've experienced. So it's a good question. I've heard a lot of people from time to time think that this is just a place to come to for suffering. But once you look at it too, this place is magical. There's so much beauty. There's so much to be appreciative of. There's so much to be grateful for. There's so many experiences that are just beyond amazing. So that's not suffering. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to take in. Yeah. Dawn, looking back over the time, I realized that I have been in 2 different times, especially when we were milestones. Yeah, I can see that too. I can see that too. Why do we want duality? Possibly for more learning. That's a good question that needs more exploration. Why would you think, why, you answer that. Why would you think we would want more life experiences than one at one time? I think it's all learning. I think everything is learning, and I think the ultimate goal is to learn unconditional love, which is hard to master. That's my thoughts on it. Maybe if it propels you. I have also come to hear many times that coming to Earth is a very fast track to learning. So if you think about your lifetime, how many things have you learned in your life? If you really think about every experience, major experience in your life as a lesson, and what came out of it. Hi, Griselle. Dawn, also when you feel something is about to happen, but you can't predict when. Yeah, that's true too. That's a good point you bring up, Dawn. When you think something's going to happen, but you're not sure why. It might be your other self knowing something that we're not connected. I have this feeling too that something is going to happen with this whole situation, this whole situation in the next few weeks. Another big shift with it. What exactly, I don't know. Why I have that feeling, I don't know. Maybe that's another part of me, another self of me, knowing another part of what's going on here, seeing it from a different angle. Yeah. Jamie, yes, there are parallel realities happening a lot once because time is not linear. Yeah, right. We're the only ones that have time. We're the only ones that have timelines, that go by timelines. Yeah, I agree with that too. Let's see if I can expand your thing without losing it. Yeah, there we go. We're made to believe, feels like we are shifting now. I feel the best thing to do is to stay in your heart space and follow it. That's true. Beautiful advice. Yeah. Follow what you feel deep down inside. Absolutely. Anything's possible. That's true, Donna. Anything is possible. Anything and everything is possible. Anything and everything's possible. It's true. Yes. Hi, Michelle. Hello, everybody who's come on in. If I didn't catch your name, thanks for joining today. Multiple lives simultaneously. Yeah. I think so too. I think so too. I believe also that it's more apparent and more, I travel when I meditate. I know I'm at different places, different spaces, different times, different experiences, completely different from where I'm at in my day-to-day reality. And I also know this to be true when I sleep. When I sleep, there's times when I wake up at night and I feel like I have been working. And I remember while I'm sleeping, when I wake up in the night, I remember as I was sleeping, I was working on projects. And I'm thinking, I am so tired. I just want to sleep. I don't want to work. So that leads me to believe that I'm elsewhere when I sleep. And this is not a dream, because dreams are different when I sleep. I remember dreams and they are completely different than this work phase that I'm doing at night, which is another time and space. So I think there's multiple. I agree there's multiple time and space. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how I feel a lot of times. That's been common the past year or so. When I sleep at night, I have felt like I've been working. When I wake up in the night and I have remembrances of doing work. Have you ever experienced something like that in your sleep state? What are your thoughts on that? Yes, we are all here to learn new things through the human experience. Yeah, we have all chosen to be here during this time too. I agree with that, Griselle. We have all chosen to be here and experience this. And we can all learn collectively, and we can all learn individually. I think so. Melanie, last night you were laying down, relaxing, stilling the mind. You heard that the depression we feel at times is from another life. Something triggers. Yes, that's true too. A lot of times there are carryover karma. Carryover karma is what I've learned it to be called. If you experience things time and time again and you can't seem to shake it, there might be something from a past life that you didn't learn fully that you needed to resolve. That's something that you can explore during meditation and try and come to terms with. Actually talk about that in my first book, Meditation Made Easy, where you can actually go back to different lifetimes or during this current life and resolve issues and have a better positive outcome so you can move forward from that situation. Of course, it doesn't replace medical care. If you need medical care, please seek that. But I agree with that too, Melanie, yeah. Carol, you're way too sensitive for Earth. I know I have a lot of friends that feel displaced here. Do you feel that? Do you feel displaced here, that you don't really, this is not really your home? You live in a bubble? You feel like you live in a bubble? Yeah. And maybe you're longing for where your roots are. You know what I mean? Your other experiences, the other realms, the other places of where life resides in the multiverses that we have, the universes that we have. But again, you're here to learn, I think, and the uncomfortableness of being here is part of the learning. What specifically you came to learn, there's something in that uncomfortableness. It's tied. Yeah, Mary, you think so? Yeah, all sent for a purpose. I think so too, Jamie. I think suffering is something we chose before coming here to experience growth. Because we don't all suffer the same, and we all have different viewpoints of what suffering is. So we might experience the exact same thing, and I might find it as suffering and you don't, and vice versa, you know? So yeah, we all have our agenda down to the very detail. I mean, when we're in the soul space planning a life, we have it down to the very detail. Who's going to come into our life? What we're going to look like? Who's going to play our parents' roles and our siblings and our children and our spouse or, you know, friends and family. It's where we're going to live and what kind of, it's just so much down to the detail of all these things are figured out before we come here. But when we come here, we are influenced by culture at the time, but we knew that. We're influenced by society, but we knew that. We chose the specific place that we would be part of. And we chose our parents, and we knew what kind of roles and what kind of experiences they would have, because they have their own agenda too. But it kind of meshes together like a puzzle. They have their thing that they're working on, but they're going to help us work on our stuff too. And even though looking back at my specific lifetime, I've had a lot of heartache with my mom up until just recently, a lot of anger with my mom up until just these past few years. I finally resolved that. But looking past that, I looked back into the soul space and we had that conversation. She was going to be this one to do the things that she did to invoke that, in hopes that I can get past that, in which, thank goodness, I did. So there's a lot of discussion and a lot of planning to the very fine, fine details. I had the choice for many, many years and the opportunity for many years to actually resolve that before I did, but I didn't. I was given another choice when I finally did resolve it, and I did resolve it, thank goodness, because I don't want that to carry over to another life, because I'm sure it would have. I'm sure it would have been a karmic thing. So there's many layers to it, and there's many parts of the puzzle to it, and there's many parts of the connection to it. And had I not acted the way I did this very last time when I switched, when I went through that shift, I would not have had that major life lesson. I'm sure that's part of my plan. There's many. That was one of them. So that one was checked off the list. That's like, okay, that's resolved. I hope this makes sense. I don't know. I'm just rambling on what's going on and what comes. But yeah, there's so many details of what we are given before we come to this life, what we chose to be, even how we look, how we, down to the color of our eyes. Everything, I believe, is completely planned out, and how we respond to things that we put in our pathway along the way is the opportunity of growth, expansion, learning, or not. Wow, that was a lot. Sorry. That was a lot. Oh my gosh. Mary, you took the test about the chakras, and then I didn't like what I learned. The results were astonishing. Oh, wow, Mary. Does it make sense though? Yeah, sometimes we don't like the situation we're in, but once you learn from it, then it just kind of fades away, and then a new lesson comes popping up. Sometimes it can get overwhelming. Sometimes it can get like tiring. And sometimes you're in a cycle where it's like, is it ever going to end? But if you're in that kind of cycle where it seems like that, I don't think you've fully learned what you need to fully learn yet. Ah, Carol H., you knew this was going to happen 4 years ago, but you didn't completely trust it. Wow. Always trust what's your inner guidance. It's never wrong. Always trust what you feel deep down inside. Deep down inside, you have that warning bell go off, trust it. If you have that bell go off saying, yes, 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 this is what it is, trust it. If you have that deep intuition, trust it. It's always right. Yeah. Yeah, Carol, you're told things to come a lot and really don't like it. And why? Yeah, because it's challenging, huh? You know? Yeah. Dawn, how can we blend our multiple lives and receive the best experiences? I think you can with the intention during meditation. I think you can do that. And I think the more you can practice being in the moment and being observant and stepping back and just kind of not being affected by things so much that might disrupt your life, but just stepping back and looking at it from another viewpoint and learning to develop that more, learning to trust your intuition more, learning to trust your guidance more, and I think more kind of blends together then, and it kind of at times it seems stronger than others, and maybe when we get wrapped up into humanness type experiences, and a lot of the fear and a lot of the anger and stuff like that, I think it gets blocked. But when we are fully within ourselves and we are downloading information, there's times when I just get downloads, just like information just out of the blue, and it's just like, oh, wow, where'd that come from? I think that's a mesh of that, multiple experiences, multiple lives, multiple existences. But when we have to be in the higher vibrations to do that, though. I talk about that all the time. We've got to be in the higher vibrations to experience that. If you're in a state of anxiety and depression and the lower extremes, fear, anger, then you're not going to experience it. You're blocked. So you've got to resolve that stuff to move forward and up and out of it. Oh, that's awesome. You wake up with words to look up. Wow. That's awesome, Carol H. I hope you write all this stuff down. Colleen, you feel something big is going to happen. You feel the energy shift. Yeah, that's what I've felt this past week. I feel like in the next 2 weeks, I feel like something big is going to change with this whole worldly experience that we're going through. What exactly it is, I'm not sure yet, but I feel it. It's going, and I can't say if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but I feel like there's going to be another wave of energy. As you notice, there's been a lot of different types of energy with this going on right now in the world. At the beginning, there was a lot of fear and panic, uncertainty, confusion, still a little bit lingering of those two, all of that. There was some anger waves going through. Now I feel like there's a lot of restlessness going on. So it's going in waves, and I think the shift is changing too. There's more to come with all of this. We'll see as it unfolds, and it will start to make sense. But there's a lot of different emotions happening with all of this. But that seems to go in waves too. Jamie, you believe you do most of your work at light work to help the humanity and to help the earth is done while sleeping. Yeah, I believe that we go elsewhere to do our healing work. I believe that too, that we do our light work, our healing and our whatever kind of work that we are specifically working on while we're sleeping. I think we can go there while we're in meditation. Meditation, I find, is so very exciting because I can explore so very much with it. And I just love exploration during meditation. That to me is a more intentful exploration, where the sleep state is you go to sleep and you go to work, wherever it is. You do your thing. But you can have intentions with sleeping too. You can try to accomplish certain things while you sleep. Dawn, you have experienced work in your sleep. Wow, that is something. And for whatever reason, I was given this topic today, and I'm glad you're all you're expressing your thoughts and you're commenting this too, because it's important that we learn from each other. But I was given this today. I was talking to a friend about time and space last week, and I thought, and I didn't know where this conversation was going to go today. I wrote down the questions that I was given, but I didn't know where this was going, and I think this is important for us all to just kind of think about on a deeper level. And I was told that too, that we need to think about these things on a deeper level, not the surface. We really need to think about it. So take some time later today and think about these things that we've talked about today on a deeper level. Take some quiet time and think about, are you experiencing multiple existences at the same time? Think about it. Think about why you think that you might be or you might not be. Think about what triggers your thoughts and how you respond to things that happen and how you react to the bigger picture, if you can look at it, or not. and where you are on the level of your growth pattern from, you know, are you feeling like you are in a learning cycle or not, and why? Yeah, almost like out of body experience at times. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, Carol H, not your home. Yeah. Oh, Vina, I have the most beautiful coffee cups. Thank you. Amy, you feel like you should be with the fairies. Yeah. Well, they're with you. Connect with the trees. Go hug the trees and talk to them. Connect with them and see what they have to say. Don't understand violence, Carol H. That is a hard one to wrap your head around. And maybe we should get back into the deep chats about, not today, but maybe next week, we'll get more back into the deep chats about soul planning and life experience planning, and choices we make while we're here. It's just like a mix of things. So, yeah. Jamie says, Carol, I think that violence is stuff that people do and stuff that people do is like they agreed to play a part, a role in this life because you can't see the light without the darkness. Yeah, you can't see the light without the darkness. I believe in just kind of a nutshell with that I think we'll get into a deeper chat with that soon. That, yes, they came to experience some dark times, whatever it might be, in their role that they play. But they also need to find the way to bring themselves out and have resolution with it. So, whatever it is that they had done in this lifetime, they need to find in their heart the true lesson behind what it is that they did and why, and find forgiveness and compassion and love and, you know, and resolution. And those are hard lessons to learn, really hard lessons to learn. I've seen many of my past lives, and some of them are not pretty. They're not good. Most of them are not good. They're not, you know, sunshine and roses. There are a few that I have seen that are very lovely, but most I experienced a lot of suffering and very difficult times, traumatic times, and I chose to do that to learn a lesson. It might be hard to say or hard to understand or hard to wrap your head around, but that's how I see it, and I don't expect you to believe any differently than you believe. I'm just told to share what I experience. So I'm not trying to convince you to believe what I believe. I'm just sharing what I experience and what I believe. And I do appreciate all your openness with your comments too, because it helps everybody to come to terms with things, I think, and to understand things too from different perspectives. So, hi, Susan. Hello, everybody. Hi, Kimberly. Hello, hello, hello. There's much to come, Carol. Yes, you should expand on that too. What you are thinking that's going to happen, what you've been told. Yeah. Carol, it did make sense because your heart chakra was blocked 75%. Wow. Took note of each one, and then you need to make time to work on each one. Sometimes we're faced with things that we don't want to face, but we have to. If you resist it, it's just going to prolong it. Or, you know, if you face it and you resolve it in the best way that you can, then you can move forward. Carol, why do we get information that I don't feel you can do anything about but pray about? That's something. That's huge. Praying about is huge. Sharing your information with others, I think, is huge. Sharing your experience with others is huge. So you are doing something. You are doing something. You might not feel like it, but you are. Sending love and light is huge. Sending peace. You know something's happening, and sending peace around the world continually is huge. I'm getting chills. That's always a confirmation that yes. So you are doing something about it. You might not see it, but you are. You're making a big difference. All of you are making a big difference. Yeah. Vibration meets a vibration to experience it. That's right. Oh my gosh, yes. A harder wave, you think, that's coming our way, Carol H. And thanks for sharing that with us. Thank you. You know, that helps others to prepare mentally, emotionally, and like gear up and say, okay, let's buckle down. We're going to get through it. We've been through another wave. We're going to come through another wave. You know, yeah. Might be what some of us are feeling too. It might be that feeling that I'm feeling that something's coming too. I don't know what. So, and a few others too. Ah, Nikki, love you too. Hey, Lisa, I don't see any comments. She is reading and she does not see mine about the test. I just saw this comment. Not sure if I don't think I saw any other of your comments. Yeah. So let me see if there's any other, do you ever feel like you're in a time warp? And I think that's part of this multi-existence too, a time warp. There's many times where I feel like I'm in a time warp, and I say that, where things just happen and it's just like, I question, did that really happen? And I'm just stepped back and I feel like I'm almost in a dream state. And it's like, I really observed that, but I can't believe I saw that. And it's like, I felt like I'm observing something from a distance. So I think that's like a multi-existence experience to a time warp. Have you ever experienced a time warp? Where things feel distorted. And time seems to stop and just kind of get twisted a little bit. Have you ever experienced that? Oh my gosh. And I've already asked you these two. And Saturn went into retrograde till September. Yeah, you know, these retrograde things really mess us up. We have to just kind of settle in and just do the best we can during these retrogrades, you know. Do the best we can through each component of it. I believe in all that cosmic stuff that happens, and I think there's a reason for all of that happening that we don't see. And I think that there's this huge shift that we're in right now that we don't see, and it's not over, and it's still kind of shifting, but there's so much going on that we don't see, and we have to just trust and trust and trust that we'll get through and get through to the other side. Yeah. It's important to put up psychic boundaries. Yes, that's true, Nikki. I agree with that too. Well, you always need boundaries and protection. So absolutely, yeah. Put up boundaries and protection. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's interesting, Donna B., that you were just writing about space and energy this morning, and here we are talking about that today. There's no mistakes for that. There's a reason. There's a reason for all of these conversations. Yeah. Hi, Cindy. I just see this comment, Cindy Berry. I don't know what has, I'm sorry that I have not been able to see your comments from earlier. Facebook, I don't know, for whatever reason, blocks certain comments or certain people. I don't know why. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. Anybody else having trouble with Facebook comments? That's a normal thing with Facebook. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. So, Cindy, will I have any video on reoccurring dreams? We could talk about dreams a little bit more in the future. Yeah, I have a friend that's a dream expert, and she has taught me a lot. I am more of a meditative expert. Dreams are kind of a secondary thing to me. Meditation to me is primary. So, but we can talk more about dreams in the coming shows. Absolutely. A lot of it's symbolism. A lot of it is past, present, or future information coming forward. Yeah. Nikki's been expanding. Carol H., you have expanded, but no one wants to hear it, so I keep quiet. You know, holding back our information is something I used to do most of my life. I held back my voice for most of my life. And it's caused me a lot of physical, emotional, and mental issues from doing so. So maybe that's something that you need to learn to do, is find a way to find your voice with it. Write down everything. It can be very frightening to share with others what you know or what you experience. But speaking your truth in some form or fashion is a way to let that out and to heal that. And the more you do it, the better it comes, the easier it comes. I struggled with it for many years now. I just say what I believe. It's like, if others don't accept it, that's fine. Or others don't believe it, that's fine. They're on their path. And I can't force somebody, and I don't want to. So I share, and if it helps somebody along the way, that's great. The information you can share will help somebody along the way. That's true with everybody. Everybody here has something to share that can help somebody else. I'd suggest Carol H. is starting to just write it out. Write it in a manuscript. If you feel uncomfortable about speaking it verbally, start with writing it. And then go and take baby steps with speaking it verbally with those you trust. And then eventually you'll come to the point where your soul prompts you, is what happened to me, so much so that you've got to be out there in the limelight, in the public, saying, this is what I believe. This is what I've experienced. But take baby steps, don't force it, because it can be kind of challenging if you try and force it. So start with a manuscript, start writing down everything that comes to you, and share with those who you trust. Share in my group, Crystalline Sage. We're all like-minded people in there. And I believe you would have a huge response in there. If anybody ever comes out of line and is disrespectful in any way, I will address it. But I've never had that problem. There was one person I had to block, but they were posting very, very hateful things. But I don't think the people that are in there now will do that. So I think actually more will embrace. And I would love to see more conversations in that group, actually, than there are. So feel free, if you are prompted to do so, to open up a deep conversation in the group and see what happens. Yeah, Jamie, we all have light and darks in us. And we all have to resolve some things to move into our own light work and our own light. You know, yeah. Yeah. Part of our soul growth plan. Yeah, Kimberly, a time warp. Nikki, time warp, yep. I know I'm so far behind in the comments. So I'll look at a couple more. I'm going to have to wrap it up here in just a moment. We are all infinite. We're all infinite. I'll come back and check the comments too when I have time later today. I always do. We are all infinite and never ending. So take that with you today and think about that. And whatever you think about that, we're just here for a very blip of time for this experience, this learning experience, and what we do with it is part of our plan, part of our experience, part of our what we learn or not, is up to us individually. So we are all infinite. We will be learning elsewhere another time, or maybe we choose to come back here another time. Again, I've been here many times. I've been other places many times. So it's never ending. Yeah, it's never ending. I'm going to pull a little message today from the Namaste deck. This is a beautiful card deck. I love this deck. And beautiful messages, very positive, for a universal message for whoever watches now, whoever watches later, for a little takeaway for the day. And sometimes I feel like the message is very spot on with the conversation, and other times I feel like it's just something that we need to focus on. So let's see what it says. This is a beautiful card, angel wings on the tree. The fairies and the angels are all around us, aren't they? So it's a blessing of gratitude, a blessing of gratitude. Be grateful for all experiences. No mistake there. Be grateful for all your experiences, for all in life serves a purpose. This is no mistake. I tell you that this came up. Unbelievable. So I'm going to start over. Be grateful for all your experiences, for all in life serves a purpose. There is a blessing in all that did or did not happen. There is a blessing unfolding this very moment. Listen to your heart and follow its wisdom. Be mindful, for the journey is as important as the destination. That is so appropriate for today. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that message, universe. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for your comments and your participation. Please share this with others who will like to join our conversations and our discussions and our meditations. If you didn't do the wish paper on Saturday, watch the replay. You're included in that. I encourage you to do that. Wednesday, I will stop in and we're going to do just an informal check-in chat. We're just going to talk. Once in a while, I'll throw out a question to talk about, but it's just a check-in chat just to see how everyone's doing. Thursday is Crystal Sale Thursday on my Facebook page, and I hope to see you all very soon. Amazing message, amazing conversation. Thanks for being here. I love it. I am so grateful for all of you. And we are all part of this whole experience together is part of our journey. We are meant to be here together. We're meant to do this. We're meant to learn from each other. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you all very soon. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.